and welcome to the Lit Up Lightworker Podcast, bringing you fun and soulful interviews with spiritual teachers with the aim of tuning you in and lighting you up. You can access all episodes of the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and TuneIn, and be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos and interviews all about finding and following your life purpose. My name is George Lizos. I'm a spiritual teacher, intuitive healer, the author of Be the Guru, Lightworkers Gotta Work, and Protect Your Light. And today I have with me Shannon Kaiser. Shannon Kaiser is a world-renowned spiritual and self-love teacher, speaker, and empowerment coach. A best-selling author of 5 books on the psychology of happiness and fulfillment, including The Self-Love Experiment, Adventures for Your Soul, the new book Return to You, and the creator of Unshakable Inner Peace Oracle cards, which I love. She guides people to awaken and align to their true selves so they can live their highest potential. She's been named among the top 100 women to watch in wellness by mindbodygreen and your go-to happiness booster by Health Magazine. Shannon, can't wait to have you back on the Lit Up Lightworker Podcast to chat about your new book. How are you?
I am so excited to be here. You're one of my favorite people on the planet, so I'm very excited to just connect with you and share our energy.
Likewise, and I am so excited. First of all, we talked about this before we started this podcast. I loved reviewing your new Oracle cards, Unshakable Inner Peace and Oracle cards, and using them. You have some beautiful imagery that you've created, some beautiful collages that you've put in together as well. And I'm so excited for everyone to experience the magic of those cards. And what I love about the book is that they're connected, right? So the book and the cards are all about finding inner peace. So before we go into that, I want to hear a little bit about the premise and the story of how this book and the cards as well came to be.
Yeah, you're right. They are like soul sisters, if you will. They came about, and I'm so glad my publisher was like, let's release them both in a way, because it is about unshakable inner peace, and we need that now more than ever. But, you know, I truly am practicing the principles. I teach them. I really feel this is the kind of epitome of everything that I've put together in all of my books in one signature teaching. But it wasn't this way just a few years ago, even pre what we've been through over the last couple of years. It was in 2019. I was kind of going on book tour for my last book, Joy Seeker. And I'm teaching people about joy. I'm traveling all around North America, and I started to feel very anxious. I went to the hotel room and had panic attacks. And I was like, what is happening? I'm practicing these principles. I'm living joy, but my ego was going crazy. The inner voice was saying, who do you think you are to have so much joy, to feel peace, to travel the world and do what you love? It was louder than ever. And, you know, I've overcome depression, and I've had some what led me to this work, but this was a whole new level. And I had nothing else to do but to go inward. So I came back after book tour and I said, well, what part of me am I not integrating? And I love that we were talking earlier, that's your word for the year, integration. And I said, there's something missing in my life. What is it? And I looked at the things of me that had been lost that I wasn't allowing to be fully expressed. And one of them was the creative aspect of me. I was in advertising and used to do graphic design as an art director. And I left that to be a book author. And I said, nope, I'm teaching people how to be happy. But the creator in me was crying out. And so I sat down, I started designing literally, and my anxiety started to go away. I started to make these mini collages. And one day in meditation, it said, this needs to be an oracle deck for other people so they can find peace. And each card was almost channeled with the types of crystals and the types of imagery used. And it's a very peaceful deck because I put so much love into it, but I designed it and wrote it. And the principles in that deck turned into a book. And that's where the Return to You book is out in the world now, because they go together. But it's not just about being creative. It's about how we choose peace, even in chaos. That's really the process.
Oh my God, I have so much to talk about these 2 points that you've just shared. First of all, let's talk a little bit about the integration, because I think this is a future of business and people's evolutions. Because for years, patriarchy tried to fit us into little boxes of you have to find your niche and stick to it. But more and more, we're feeling like we need to bring in all aspects of ourselves to truly find fulfillment. And you've done this with your creativity in your graphic design. I've done this year by releasing my songs, my musical theater songs out into the world, getting into acting, pottery, like bringing it all together, because why not? And I found so much fulfillment, like you have as well. And then the second point you mentioned about how important being peaceful it is. And we take it for granted sometimes until we can't find it. So I want to take you back to 2019, where you were having that anxiety, and just looking retrospectively right now on that time. Why do you think, and how do we lose our peace? What happens? What are the processes? What happens in our life that just gets us discorded from our true self?
Such a good question, because I think that's what the question we're all asking. It's on our hearts and our minds. And that's what I went through. First, I feel that our souls sign up for lessons. I truly believe we are here and that's lesson 1 in the book. We are in a school called Planet Earth. And to really know something, even the Tao teaching taught us, Buddhism, they talk about this a lot of Eastern philosophy. To really know something, you must know the opposite. I find collectively we are going through such an anxious time of learning how to be comfortable in the unknown, feeling like things are uncertain. And in that, what is the opposite? So whatever you're going through right now, ask what is the opposite. And when I was having those panic attacks, when I came back and I would do the design, and I'm not saying I just would design the oracle cards and the next day I was like Zen Buddha. It's a process. And one of the things I recognized is by asking the questions, we can get the real answers. And I said, my biggest fear is, what if this all goes away? So how can I allow myself to be more in the journey of life and know that I am always protected when I follow my heart? So this became a spiritual issue about having more faith. This became not so much about looking outside of myself. And then flash forward, I started to practice the tools of really looking inward. The number one thing that keeps us out of alignment, and which I say peace is really alignment. When people say what's inner peace, it's alignment. We are born as peaceful beings. We come from peace. We come from love. But what takes that from us is looking outside in the world, and the world works really hard to take that from us, whether it's the drama, the news of the day, other people and their situations. And so it becomes about honoring, and you do a lot of great work about protecting yourself and knowing where your true power lies. So I started practicing this. I said, okay, I can't and don't have control over what's happening outside of me, but I have 1000% on what is happening inside of me. I have control of that. So I started practicing this, and about 4, 5, 6 months later, I was actually scheduled to go on a full, first time in my years. I had been working up to this for 8 years of my career, to have every month a full worldwide speaking tour. I was going to be in a different country, leading retreats and on keynotes. I was like, yes. And I just finished signing the last contract that was going to take me over to Hawaii. And within days, it was March 2020. Within days, everything just fell through. Every cancellation, we're just canceling. That's because of course, the coronavirus was entering into the world and the whole world shut down. And my first thought was, oh my God, maybe this was a psychic kind of connection to my future. Everything really is going away. And I said, hold up. That's not the truth. That's the ego and fear. What is the reality? My love knows that this is a deeper realization, that we can go deeper and discover that we have more power than we've been given credit. So it was a beautiful process in me going deeper. My teaching has become deeper, but truly it's about faith. It's about your connection to source energy.
And it's that theme of turning from looking outside to looking within, because if you think about what happened with the coronavirus, it's stuff happening outside of ourselves that we don't have control over, but we do have control as to how we respond to it. So it feels like your guides, the universe, all collaborated together to get you into that point so you could realize this lesson and write this fabulous book for us.
I think so. And I truly do that. I think I like to talk to authors, right? For you too. It's like, where is our inspiration for the book? And it's always, for me, personal experience. Every single one of my books starts from a place of struggle, if you will, because like I needed to know self-love. So I wrote the self-love experiment. And this one was, I was having panic attacks. Here I am, a happiness coach, having panic attacks. And it was like, oh, that means peace is on its way to me. And truly, I am living in peace. There's so much chaos in the world, and there's so much drama within family situations and friends, but I am more peaceful than I've ever been. So it's a process of discovering your true self is really what it is.
Yes, I love that. And I want to ask a little more of a philosophical question now as to, why do you think we incarnate into these lives and then we lose our peace? What is the bigger picture if we look from like a source perspective looking in? Why did we choose this?
Yeah, I think a lot of us ask that, especially in the spiritual community. Why did we come here? But I truly believe that we come here to learn and grow. Our souls are on this radical mission to grow and advance into more love. So planet Earth is this giant incubator. I like to call it a giant school of spiritual evolution. Every soul on the planet right now is in a place of learning more about them, but each soul has their own. We're all here for love and to learn about love. And so we come to a place that actually pulls us away from love. And it's almost like this dark cloud is over Earth, whether it's the dramas of your life or the traumas you go through personally, or how the world and kind of that matrix is playing out. It really comes back down to we learn through that to come back to love, to come back to the realization of who we are, which is the love within our heart. We're sourced from love. So for me, it's the ultimate lesson. It's almost like you reach enlightenment when you understand that we come here into the dark so we can find the light and realize that we are the light.
And we all find the light in different ways, which expands consciousness, and it just makes it all so much fun. Which brings me to my next question as well, which is so connected to what you've just mentioned. So your book, Return to You, shares 11 spiritual lessons to finding inner peace. And I was wondering whether we can go through your top 3 lessons. I've picked out 3 lessons that I think will resonate with people. Shall we do this?
Yes, let's do it.
So the first lesson I have here is the one connected with what you just said. It's lesson number 6. Everyone is on their own journey. So what is that lesson and why is it so important?
You know, this one is, it's actually so important because like what you just said, we're all souls here experiencing life in certain ways, and our light and what lights us up and inspires us is different. The goal is not to have everyone see the world the same way, which is really what you're seeing outside in the world right now. The goal is not to have everyone believe the same thing. That's not what Earth is. But this idea that everyone is on their own journey is an honoring. It's like the namaste approach, honoring that every single person is doing the best they can with what they know and who they are at their point in their soul growth journey. So an example of this is maybe you have a friend or a relationship that just feels off. You know, as I was writing this book, I had a friendship that was my best friend, and we would talk every day, meet for coffee 3-4 times a week. And then it was just like, it kind of fell away, and I couldn't understand why my best friend, I was like, did I do something wrong? And I think a lot of times we do that. We start blaming ourselves. But what I recognized is our time had come. We had learned the lessons that we needed within each other on our soul journeys. And so it was almost time to part ways. And we have people in our life we hold on to out of the idea of who they are versus who they really are. And so in this experience of everyone is on their own journey, it's recognizing that the change happens where you still can love someone from afar, but they don't have to physically be in your life. But also with all the contention that we see in the world right now of these people attacking each other online and stuff, it's about rising into an understanding that everyone is coming from the place they feel is best. And ultimately it is love, or it's from a place, they're acting from a place of fear maybe, but they're desperate for love. So we can become the loving one to show more love to them, if this makes sense.
Oh my God, so much sense. I feel we spend so much time creating relationships and learning how to create relationships, but we don't spend enough time knowing how to end or transition relationships gracefully. And I think just this lesson just hits home, like brings it all home and helps us realize that, you know what, we have different journeys. Everyone is on our personal journey. Sometimes our journeys meet, and then when we fulfill our purpose, then it's time to move away. And speaking of purpose, the second lesson that I wanted to discuss was lesson number 7. Your purpose is personal expansion. Now, I love talking about purpose, you know that. And yes. I'm very intrigued by this title. So please tell me all about it.
This is one of my favorites because the core of what I do is really about aligning us back to our true purpose, awakening to the purpose that is within you. And I think a lot of us struggle at first. What am I made for? Who am I? And this process takes you through realization that you are not the job title. You're not the work you do. You're not the relationship status. Your purpose on life is to expand and grow, and to expand and grow into more love. And as long as we're honoring that, what comes to us, just like you, I love watching your videos and your singing because the whole room in the world lights up when I see these, and I know that you are living your joy. And when I'm doing the work that I do, like creating and helping, it's you, all of when you step into what you love to do, you are expanding the world, and really you're helping the world more. And so if more of us were to choose joy instead of, oh, I'm so upset by the doom and gloom of the world right now. And it's important to feel that. That's a whole nother chapter on really knowing your feelings are important. But we move into action And when you are in a place of action, you're actually doing your part to help uplift not only your household, your community, but it's one less person hurting on the planet. It's one less person in pain. And that's what we need. We need more people to activate joy right now. So your purpose is to expand into the love that you are by doing what you love
I love,
unapologetically.
love this lesson and this approach to our purpose, because we're made to think that our purpose is something that it fits within a little box or within a niche, and we have to be that throughout our lives. When we're children, people ask us, what do you want to be when you grow up? Nobody says, what things do you want to do when you grow up? So we're conditioned to think that we're supposed to do one thing. And when people ask me, okay, what about my purpose? Let's say I have a specific mission and I have to fulfill that mission. Why distract myself with so many other things? Because they're not other things. They're just different mediums of completing that same purpose that is you, your expression of who you are. So yes. I so love that lesson. And which brings me to the third lesson, which I think brings it all back home. Lesson 11, love is all there is. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I start the whole book by with a quote from Stephen Richards, and it's, our level of love or our level of fear will determine our state of reality. And I think we are living on planet Earth, which is really a world of fear conditioning, whether it's the beliefs you pick up from your family or society or the cultural conditioning, or it's easy to fall into fear when we're stepping into the unknown. But truly, when we get to this process, and I take you step by step through a process in the book, what it really comes back down to, love is all there is. Even the things that have fallen away from fear are desperate for the love that they know at some level within them it's still there, because we are all sourced from the same, whether you call it God, universe, the entities, whatever it is. Love is, I call it, kind of source of all things, if you will. This is a creative, benevolent energy of pure love. And we see glimpses of this throughout, humanity's coming together. We see me and you connecting right now through connection. When we allow our humanity to rise up, we really show up in our love, whether it's helping someone who's in need or just doing what you love. So love is all there is really a powerful, powerful lesson that I think we're all really learning right now through the struggle. But it's interesting because even in this, I started with that, and then I end the book. I'm giving you the kind of the ending, the icing on the top, but it has and always will be about love. And the universe says that. So that's the very last page of the book. So when you're doing something and you're feeling overwhelmed, all you have to say is, how can I invite more love in now? Or where is the love within this situation that might feel like it's catastrophic? And then we return in and we allow the love within us to kind of come to the surface.
Oh my goodness. What a beautiful journey, I have to say, from lesson 1 to lesson 11, just starting lesson 1, you are in a school called Planet Earth, and then reminding ourselves, lesson 11, love is all there is. I think it's a beautiful journey to find inner peace. I mean, you've just shared like 3 of the lessons, and I'm already feeling the peace right now coming over me. So thank you so much for coming onto the podcast again. It's always a pleasure chatting to you and sharing with us the wisdom of return to you. Can you please let everyone know where they can get the book from and where they can get in touch with you?
Yes, and then I was going to pull an oracle card for your group.
Yes, let's do that.
So the book is returned to you. It's available just about everywhere where bookstores are sell books, and then online. My website is playwiththeworld.com. And I'm on social media with Shannon Kaiser Writes. I will say there's some quizzes and a lot of bonuses you can take with the quiz, with the book on playwiththeworld.com, whether it's growing your intuition or releasing a relationship meditation that no longer feels aligned. So just like you, the tools, that's where it's happening, So as we close out, I'd love to pull a card for us. Do you have any questions, or should we just pull what everyone needs to?
Let's pull a collective card for everyone listening right now and see what they need to know to find inner peace.
This is good. Oh, very good. Okay. So good. So, wow. Of all the cards, so this is the card deck. And if you're on the video, you can see it's card number 24. If you're into numerology, we have the double person looking back at themselves, rising above into the light, above the clouds. And the key here is anxiety isn't trying to limit you. but free you from a situation that no longer feels good. And this was also funny that we pulled this because I was in such anxiety and I realized, what is it trying to show me instead of thinking it's trying to limit me? And your question here for everyone, will leave you with this if you like to journal or meditate. What is my discomfort trying to free me from?
So beautiful. And by the way, I love that you had the journal prompts on each card, because I'm one of those kind of people that likes to do the work after pulling a card, not just saying it, but actually getting my journal out, writing the question and journaling on it. So that's a perfect practice for everyone. So challenge for you watching live right now, watching this right now, make sure to get that journal prompt and go and journal and let us know in the comments how you felt about it. Okay,
Yeah.
Shannon, thank you so much for being on the podcast. Always lovely to chat, and I can't wait to talk again soon.
Thank you. So good to be here.